darkness isn't always empty. Sometimes it has a name, a ritual, and blood in its roots. Deep within the forests, where shadows dance by the fire, ancient magic echoes. Palo Mayombe, a cult whose power is feared even by those who summon it. Palo Mayombe, a spiritual contract with the shadow. Palo Mayombe is one of the most mysterious and formidable religious magical systems, rooted in the spiritual traditions of the Congo people of Central Africa. During the era of colonialism and the transatlantic slave trade, African ancestors were forcibly brought to the Caribbean and Latin America. While their bodies were enslaved, their spirituality endured, transforming through syncretism with Catholicism, indigenous beliefs, and other Afro-Caribbean systems such as Santeria and Candomblé. Among them, Palo Mayombe remains the most deeply connected to the darker side of ritual magic. This is not a religion of contemplation and light. In Palo, there are no prayers of supplication. Instead, practitioners forge pacts with the spirits of the dead, with the forces of nature, and with entities known as mpango, spiritual beings that represent various powers of the universe, from destruction to healing. Their influence is not granted through grace, but through exchange, mutual obligations, offerings, and rites. The Palo priest, known as Tata, if male, or Yaya, if female, serves as a medium between the visible and invisible worlds. Their attire is not decorative but symbolic. Dark robes, necklaces made of bones, feathers, and metal, and amulets crafted from animal skulls or body parts emphasize their deep connection to the realm of spirits. Every gesture, every object in the ritual has meaning. Nothing is accidental. At the core of every ritual is the nganga, an iron cauldron that houses the spiritual heart of the system. This is not merely a container for ritual tools, but a dwelling for the nkisi, a spiritual entity that becomes the priest's ally. The nganga's contents are both symbolic and physical: graveyard earth, human and animal bones, wood, nails, blood, and sometimes personal items from the initiated or the offering. The nkisi is a spirit that can be fed to ensure its loyalty. When properly maintained, it can heal, protect, offer guidance, and eliminate enemies. But if neglected, it becomes unstable, temperamental, and in extreme cases, dangerous even to the Tata who commands it. Every ritual, therefore, carries both power and peril. Palo rituals are most often performed at night, in places far removed from ordinary life: forests, abandoned buildings, cemeteries. Within magical circles, offerings are made: roosters, rum, tobacco, coins, cigars, anything that might fuel the nganga's spiritual force. At times, these offerings may be more controversial, depending on the lineage, tradition, and discretion of the practitioner. It is believed that a properly conducted ritual grants dominion over fate, souls, and reality itself. But any interaction with the invisible demands balance and humility. One mistake, one act of disrespect or greed can cause the spirit to turn, and its wrath may be catastrophic. Palo Mayombe is not belief, it is power. And power never comes free. In the collective imagination, Palo Mayombe quickly gained a reputation as sinister, dark magic, a practice shrouded in fear, blood, and taboo. In many films, books, and video games, it is portrayed as a death cult filled with hooded figures, bone amulets, and incantations whispered through candlelight. Frequently confused with voodoo, Palo is often depicted as a tool of black magic, curses, and ritual sacrifice. One of the figures who most deeply shaped this ominous image was Adolfo Constanzo, a Mexican criminal and occultist active in the 1980s, who built his entire operation on a distorted version of Palo Mayombe. His cult blended brutality, narcotics, and ritual killings for drug cartels, echoing authentic practices, but twisted into sheer terror. Constanzo claimed the spirits of his nganga protected him from law enforcement and granted him power over life and death. His cauldron was reportedly filled with human remains. His story inspired the 2007 horror film Borderland, a violent thriller about a cult practicing ritual sacrifice in the name of Palo. Modern pop culture eagerly draws from this dark portrayal. In horror media, Palo is often a forbidden theme, a secret rite or a black book that should never be opened. Video games and TV series frequently use its aesthetic: hoods, cauldrons, bloodstained sigils, and whispered spells. A striking example is the cult classic video game Shadow Man, in which the protagonist harnesses powers drawn from a spirit world influenced by Afro-Caribbean beliefs, including elements reminiscent of Palo Mayombe, such as ritual masks, spiritual guides, and death spells. Yet what we see on screen rarely reflects the spiritual depth of this tradition. Despite its controversies, Palo Mayombe is not merely a system of fear, it is a spiritual path where light and shadow coexist. Rooted in African heritage, it is a tradition rich in symbolism, ancestral knowledge, and survival rituals. Its portrayal in the media may be exaggerated, but the fascination endures because Palo, with all its mystery, touches something primal: humanity's desire to control fate, death, and the spirits. And you? Would you dare to look inside the nganga? Is a power that feeds on blood still magic, or has it become a curse? Do the spirits that serve humans truly only want to help? Let us know your thoughts on Palo Mayombe in the comments. Leave a like if you want more dark stories about cults, rituals, and forgotten traditions. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. The next episode is coming soon. See you in the darkness.